Everybody, it's Ben in Beta, and today I have another interior cleaning video for you. We're going to be using the Sword Interior Clean from Detail Co. Now they also have Shield, which adds a ceramic protection, but we're just cleaning today. But this should leave a little bit of UV protection and should also be anti-static, so it should help it stay clean even if you don't use the Shield. In the past, I've used DIY Detail's Interior Cleaning Protect, very similar product. So we're gonna try this out today and see how it goes. Now I just finished doing the exterior of her vehicle. So if you wanna check that out, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Also, if you find this video helpful, please hit that like button. That's really helpful. I'll have links to this and the towels I use in the description if you wanna pick any of this stuff up. And remember, leave some comments and questions. If you have them, I'd love to answer those for you as well. But we're gonna give this a try today on my mom's car and see how it looks. She asked if I could clean the interior, and so I'm gonna do that for her. I don't generally like interiors, but today I'm kind of excited to do this one. This is my mom's car. She asked if I could detail it a little bit and make it look nicer inside here, so I'm going to do that for her. And I get to try something new today, which is Detail Co.'s Sword Interior Clean. Now, this should clean the interior, but it should also leave a little bit of UV protection, make it look factory, and also have a little bit of anti-static properties to it to kind of keep things from getting dusty or making it easier to clean in the future. And the microfibers I'm using today are the DIY Detail interior towel and one of the jobbers, I believe it's called, from the House of Rags. But I'll link these in the description if you want to pick one of those up. The jobber's a little bit thicker, not too bad, and DIY Detail's got these nice ribs on it, which cleans things up really well. Let's get started. Interior cleaning is actually pretty easy. Now, normally I would roll the windows down, but it's been raining almost every single day here in Wisconsin, and the mosquitoes are crazy, so I honestly just don't want to deal with them. So I'm going to leave the windows up and try to be really careful. But you can use this on basically all the surfaces inside of your vehicle. You generally don't want to put it on glass. If you get it on there, it's not a big deal. I'm just really trying to get it to look nicer for her. It doesn't need to be perfect. But we can also apply it to the seats, so we're going to do that today. This should go really pretty quickly. Also try to give you a few tips to make it as quick and easy as possible. So the first one is we're going to apply it directly to the microfiber towel. The only two surfaces where I'll apply ahead of time and have a little bit of extra lubrication will be on the multimedia screen, which I won't put a lot on, just a little bit, and also the instrument cluster. Those two areas I want to add a little bit, especially the instrument cluster. You'll scratch that up pretty quick and easy. Multimedia screen probably would be fine without it, but the instrument cluster for sure. We're going to start here in the center console, work our way up this half of the vehicle for the driver, then we'll do the passenger side, then we'll do the back seats, and that's pretty much it. So we're gonna spray directly on the towel. There we go. This reminds me of banana. I'm not sure if that's what they were going for fragrance, but here we go. And what you're gonna notice right away as I'm cleaning this is it's not gonna leave everything super wet when I'm done. It's gonna look wet now, but it's gonna dry on more factory looking. So we're gonna do that there. And then we can use the other side of this one, or we can just use another towel to go over this section and just kind of wipe it off. And there you go. You can see it's basically perfectly factory, but nice and clean. Yet we did get some grime off of there. So that's how we do that. Let's turn more to the center console area where it is quite dirty and see what that looks like. All right, now in here, I'm not gonna clean your change bin. There's obviously a lot of stuff in there, so we're gonna skip that, but I am gonna unplug this to get it out of the way and try to get the rest of it the best I can. Before we start, just to kind of see where we're at here for what it looks like, it is definitely pretty dirty in here, but we're gonna clean all this pretty quickly. I did not bring a brush, so I'm not gonna be able to do these really well, but I can still get this in between these vents pretty well. A brush does help with some of those things and like some of the controls and things, but it's gonna turn out pretty well, I think, even without it. Again, let's start up here and work our way back. I'm gonna close this up. And I opened the other one right away. That was kind of funny. Okay. I got something caught right in the corner there, but I think I got it out. And again, we'll come back with this second towel here really quick. We're not trying for perfect, we're trying for better. So we can see that already looks a ton better in that area. And we're gonna continue on. All right, let's get this part here now, just to see how that goes. And we're gonna get all the way around these buttons and push everything. I'm gonna get her start button here because that gets a lot of dirt on it. Let me just go back over it with this towel, just for a quick buff. You can see how much better that looks now as well. You also want to get the shift knob and all these things too. Again, a brush would be really handy for some of this stuff, but you can still get it without. So let's try a cup holder and see how that goes. It's pretty dirty in there. I might be able to get both of them here right away. Might as well wipe around the outside of that. On the tray here. All right, so that seems pretty good, but let's go ahead and buff. You can see this doesn't take a long time at all. It really doesn't. So taking this time to do this every once in a while is definitely worth it. Looks like the second cup holder I didn't do as well on, so let's see if we can get back in there. That's better. So we can see that this looks quite a bit better inside there. And I got around the edges, that's looking cleaner as well. And we'll continue. If you get a really, really dirty spot, you can go ahead and fold this into a different section. Nothing wrong with that. And kind of keep going. It's not too bad though, so I think we'll keep going. Even though it looks dirty, it's the dirt getting trapped in there, so it's not a big deal. So let's do the shift knob next. And you could shift the vehicle as well. That can be really helpful to get into all of this leather or leatherette, whatever you happen to have around there. Definitely pretty dirty. And unfold this a little bit to try to get into this section a little bit better here. In front of this. Got it better there. Again, am I trying for perfect? I'm not. I'm just trying to make it look nice so that she has a nice looking vehicle next time she gets in. But, you know, she might spill a drink the next time she gets in and it won't look as good anymore. That happens. So that shift knob is looking a lot better now. Now we just got parking and all these controls back here. So normally I keep it folded, but for these smaller sections like this, I want to be able to kind of get in here a little bit better. So I'm going to keep it open. And without a brush, this is a good technique to get to some of these areas that catch a lot of dirt and hold it. We're just going over these buttons really well here. Just trying to get in all these areas. So it's just like anything else, not a lot of pressure. Now that I'm off that area, I can fold my towel back up to get the rest of it. If your towel's folded, you just put less pressure on certain areas, which is nice. All right, let's wipe it off. It wipes really easy, so I like that about the product. It seems to wipe off nice and easy. It's like right here somewhere. Not sure what she got on there, but these are significantly better than when we started. All right, so now we got the center console done. What about the media screen? Let's take a look at that and see how we do this. Again, probably don't have to spray it ahead of time. I just want to make sure I don't scratch anything. So I'm going to add a little bit of extra, not only to the towel, but just one little spritz on here. You don't want a whole ton on here. You really don't. You just want a little bit. And I want to get all these buttons. I want to make sure I get the volume button really, really well. Same thing on the other side. Now I do feel like this stuff goes kind of a long way, one spritz. So that's something to think about there. It does seem like you get quite a bit out of it. I want to get up here on the side of the instrument cluster where there was quite a bit of dust and behind everything here. And then for these, you can just kind of stick this in between here the best you can. If you don't have a brush, make sure you get the bottoms, that middle section. Okay. And buff off. It's probably still looking kind of dirty at the moment. But now all the fingerprints are gone. Even these nice piano plastics here are well done also, and everything around it is good. All right, nice and clean there. So the whole center is now finished. We would then turn to the driver, and the steering wheel is going to be the grossest part, but I'm actually going to do up here first. I do like the smell of this. It does smell very nice. And I think you can kind of just see now that we've gone over that it's nice and clean, but it's not shiny or anything like that, which is great. Steering wheel's next. This one, you want to kind of make a motion like this all the way around the steering wheel with the cloth. You want to get behind these sections here because there's a lot of times when you grab there. So you really want to do that all the way around the steering wheel. You want to get everything here and up on the top of the controls and everything as well. So how would I compare this so far to the DIY detail? Interior clean and protect, I would say they're pretty similar. This one might be a little bit more heavy. I don't know if that makes any sense. I notice it a little bit more. So you can kind of tell where you've been pretty easily. So I'm just trying to get around all those spots that are often trouble spots. All right, so definitely got some dirt off there. And then we might want to buff that off. Our buffing towel here. And again, what you notice is it just looks factory, but it looks clean. And then we've got the center section. And I'm not getting the instrument cluster yet, but just the part front of it where there's dust that sits a lot. Trying to get the controls the best I can. I'm moving them up and down to try to get behind them as best I can. Now I can't get all the way in there because I don't have my brush, but again, this is gonna be 90% better than when we started, and that's all I was really looking for. And I wanna get the controls as well. Quick buff off here. Doesn't feel slick or anything like that, which is good. Things feels nice and clean now. Looks nice and clean as well. Smells nice and clean too. And then the instrument cluster is another spot where I like to add lubrication. I don't want to put anything dry on there, it'll scratch. They use a really soft plastic for that. So I'm gonna make sure I'm good here and good there. Now it might leave a little bit of streaking behind if we don't get all the buffing done properly at the end. So we definitely want to go over that with a buff towel, but this shouldn't scratch now, which is the important part. As long as I got a bunch on there, I might as well go in some of these other spots here real quick and get what I can. These other fins and vents and other controls over here. On this side, underneath the steering wheel controls, those handles, haven't done those yet. All right, now that that's done, I want to make sure I buff this. There shouldn't be anything on there anymore, so I shouldn't be scratching anything. Just really lightly going over that. I'm not putting any pressure there whatsoever. Just trying to make sure I don't leave any streaks in there. The doors are going to be basically the same. You just try not to get that on them, but let's see what it's like on the seats really quick. These, I'm going to actually have to open the door. I imagine mosquitoes are going to come after me. But it's no different. I'm gonna spray directly on here first and then go over the seat. And just keep going until I can't see any more like wetness on it, and then reapply at that point. I'm not gonna put anything on the seat belt material itself. The clip for the seat belt, you can do that because you touch it, but not the material for the seat belt. We don't wanna do that. Anything that might keep that from working the way it should would be bad. And while it might not do anything, we just don't want to have any problems. And then I'm going to go ahead and buff that off. And while we'll work on some of this other stuff, some other areas that people sometimes forget are the controls, that kind of stuff. You can do your sills towards the end after everything's really dirty and your rags, and those are the last thing you would do. Don't do your pedals. Those are things you don't want to do. That'll make them slick, and that would be bad. All the same things we did in the center console apply here. You know, you can do one layer inside of here to try to get into these, but it's exactly the same technique everywhere else in the vehicle. So I think Sword interior clean is pretty decent. I really like the smell. It makes everything look good. It comes off nice and easy with that buff towel. So definitely something you might want to pick up if you want to clean your interiors quickly. If you have any questions, please leave those in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. Remember, live your life in beta, and we'll see you next time.